For this project, I want to draw a picture of a caveman. Now, I'll give you a choice on what kind of caveman you do. You can do a caveman like mine, which I call a 21st century caveman. Because even though this guy has chosen to live in a cave, he has all kind of cool things in here, like LCD TVs, computers, and satellite TV and internet connections. He's got all the fancy stuff, all the modern stuff. So he's a 21st century modern day caveman. He just doesn't like all the maintenance that you have to do to keep a house up, and he just doesn't like mowing yards and stuff. So he's got a goat to keep the grass eat down. But you can make creative changes. For example, when we do the hair, if you don't want to do the frizzy hair like this or like this, if you don't want to do the frizzy hair, then you could do this kind of hair, which is the same thing. You still start out with the same shape, only you just put rainbow shape over the head instead of the frizzy hair, which I'll show you more about that in a minute. Alright, let's get started. And if you want to change the clothes or make any kind of creative change, put him in a leopard skin suit or leather or whatever, animal skin, that's fine. But let's get started, and what we'll do is we'll figure out where to put the first shape. Go ahead and put your finger in the middle of the paper and look around. Make sure the space is the same all the way around. Your finger really needs to be in the middle of the paper. And hold that position with one finger and slide to the corner and slide back. Slide to the corner, slide halfway back and stop. Because we're going to put a letter A right over our finger. I'll zoom in and I'll show you. We're halfway to the corner, and I'm going to put a dot above my finger. I'm going to leave a space, and I'm going to put a dot above my finger. Don't move your finger. We're going to put 3 dots. 2 more go right down in here. Leave a space and put a dot. Leave a space and put a dot. And that's our character's head. Now there may already be a shape on your paper just like that, and if there is, you can use it. From there, we hook on and we put this curved line under here. It's like a bowl, kind of like a bowl. And then we'll put a face in the middle. Now we'll do the hair in just a minute. Just work with me on the face for a few minutes here, and then we'll decide what to do with the hair. Go right in the middle right here and put whatever kind of nose you want to put. Put whatever kind of eyes you want to put. I'm going to make mine like this. But you can make creative changes. I don't have a lot of room for the eyebrows. Didn't have much room for the eyelashes, but I got them in there. And a smiling mouth. Alright, now is when you can decide what you want to do with the hair. I am going to give mine this kind of frizzy hair like this. But if you want yours to be a girl or you want to change the hairstyle, we do the same thing, only you put a little tiny mark up and you put this rainbow shape over. Kind of makes it like a girl's hair. That's up to you. I'm going to put the ears on first, I think. And then I'm going to give my character this frizzy hair. And this is where you can make creative changes. That's perfectly fine with me. All right. Now we'll put the neck on, and then we'll draw the shoulders, and there'll be some follow the leader lines there. First, you need the neck about as wide as a pencil, probably, or a little finger. You don't want the neck too wide, I don't think. Just ever how wide you do want it, just go right there and put 2 very short lines to make the neck. And watch on the shoulders. Slide your finger to the neck and then slide it over and down, just barely down. You just want this to run your finger right under those two lines. And we're going to slant just a little bit. We're barely going to go downhill about this far, about to the end of our finger over here. Just barely slant. Ever how wide your shoulders are, that's how wide his upper body is going to be, his or hers. Once you get it the way you want it, then you can start making the rectangle that makes the body. And let me see how big I want the rectangle that makes the body of mine. And yeah, the shoulders should be, look at this, the shoulders should probably at least be out past the side of the head. If the shoulders are more narrow than that, then you're going to have a problem getting this to look proportioned correctly. Alright, ever how tall you want the body, that's how big you want the rectangle. That is the upper body. We're just drawing the upper body. I'll show you this. We're doing this. If you want to go in here and put a V for the collar, that's fine. I double mine up. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cross over mine with a belt. Now you can make creative changes on the clothing. If you're doing yours in an animal skin of some sort, it'll be you'll be doing something different than what I'm doing. Now if you get the body too wide, he's going to be fat. If you get it too skinny, he's going to be skinny. And if you want to make changes before you darken it in. Now you don't have to darken yours in right now. You can darken yours in later. When you after you color, you can go over everything with something black. Matter of fact, that's so very important. There's his belt. Now I'm going to put shorts on my character. And if you want to put a skirt or something else, that's fine with me. But this is what I'm going to end up with. And I'll show you what I do. First, I put my finger right here and I point right up and down through the middle of the body. And then I slide down ever how far down I think this ought to be to make the shorts. I leave a little space in there and I put a dot right here. And then I make that into a small triangular shape like that. Kind of looks like a letter A without a middle piece. And then I'm very careful to hook on and make an L. There's going to be an L. I'll show you with a pencil because I'm not sure that I can do it without a mess up. Come down like an L, and this side's going to be a backwards L. Down and back that way, and once it looks right, I'll darken mine in so that you can see it better. Now you don't have to darken yours in yet. Now for the legs. I'm going to do the legs that they're a little bit more wide up here and a little bit more narrow down here, and you can see the lines come down side by side, except that they get more narrow toward the bottom. The foot is not hard to do. It looks hard to do, but if you follow me doing one little line at a time, you will see the foot is not hard. Let's put the legs on first and then we'll work on the feet. Using a pencil a lot because it's easy to get a mess up on this paper. It's easy for me to do something that I want to correct or change. I think that's long enough for his legs. I'll try it and see. If it's not, we'll just going to be stuck with it. I'm trying to leave room for his feet. I don't want to scrunch his feet, and I don't want him to have little itty bitty tiny legs either. So I hope I've got that. Proportion about right. You can put his kneecaps in there if you want to. All right, if you want to do the feet like my feet, you can leave him barefoot or put sandals or some kind of shoes, whatever you want. But if you want the feet to look like this, you need to watch now, because here's what I do. I put a little shape right here. It's kind of like the front of a small letter B, and I'm not hooking on. I'll put a bent line in there. I'll bend a little line and put in there. And on this side, I do the same thing. It's like a little C. Now, I slant like the roof of a house. I slant this way and I slant this way. And I make these lines the same. I try to get them the same length. So you've got the little curves and you got the slanted lines like slanted lines for a roof. The line that goes under the foot just runs like this. I'm drawing very light, and then you can put toes on it. You just you don't see all the toes, but you might see the big toe. And see, there's some little leftover line pieces there that'll have to be changed. You might even see a couple of toes. Now, the way he's standing, you're not going to see the whole front of the foot. I've got him with his feet twisted out because it's really easier to draw. And here's that little bent line. Here's the little bending line. This is a line that just goes in there and bends. If you want him to have the arch in his foot, you just have to go in here and raise that line just a little bit. You see, you can draw a very, very detailed foot, although you don't need it. I'm just going to darken all this in. You can darken yours in later. I would put ankles on there, but you know what? I'm going to put the strap for the shoe, the sandal. Sometimes I can't concentrate on what I'm saying and concentrate on what I'm doing at the same time. There are the bottoms of the sandals. Here's one strap. I'll put another strap across the foot this way and another strap this way. And you can change them. You can do creative changes and make up your own. That's fine with me. Now, we spent a long time on the feet because there's, you know, there are some details there that are important. I'm going to draw his arms next, and once again, you can do creative changes here if you want his arms swinging out, or if you want him doing something, if you want him holding a club or whatever, you can do that. I'm going to start with this little line right there, and then I'm going to hook these lines up. You can see they're doubled up, and if you turn them this way, they're kind of like an A. They're triangular for sure. Alright, this hand is going to be on his side like this. He's just a little simple curve line right there. And I'm using a pencil so that I can make changes. I'm not going to do as much detail on his hand. Now let's see how far to go over for the elbow. I'm going to slide about halfway up that line, and then I'm going to move my finger out of the way so that I've got a white spot. I'm going to go to the middle here and I'm going to jump. I'm going to go halfway up this line and jump over and put a dot. And then I'm going to go from here to here and from here to here like a triangle, hooking right onto the shoulder. Now if you're bringing that arm down this way, you've got to hook onto the shoulder. And it takes two lines to make an arm. You've got an outside edge and an inside edge. And once again, the line gets a little more skinny. It's wider at the shoulder, a little more skinny at the elbow. And then it gets even more skinny as you come down toward the wrist. Now if you want to erase this and make the elbow round, it probably will look better. Once you get it the way you want it, you can move on. I'm going to go ahead and darken mine in. I think this is going to work out all right. I'm not going to worry with the thumb and the fingers and all that because there's just not enough room. And sometimes it's better to leave stuff out than it is to try to scrunch it and get it all running together and make a mess. All right, I'm going to make the other arm pointed out like this. And if you want it like this, follow me. And if you want to make it up yourself, fine. Once again, you can put a club in his hand or have him waving or holding something. It's up to you. All right, I am going to go all the way up to his shoulder this time. I'm going to leave a white space, and I'm going to jump way out here, a finger and more. You got to get this out. Look at this line here. Ever how long that line is, that's how long this line's got to be going this way. Look at this, and then you got to have that same distance right here. I'm going to have to move my dot even more. Now, you don't want the line double extra long because if you do, he'll look like a monkey. If you make his arms too long, he won't look normal. I'll go ahead and double up these lines from the shoulder, make them just get just a little bit more skinny there. And then I do the forearm. Once again, I get my distance. And I do one line, and then I do the other. Put his little elbow in there, and I'll make them get just a little bit more skinny as they go toward the wrist. And here's the hand. If you want to do the hand, I don't think I can zoom in anymore, but we'll try and see. I'll darken this in. I'll let you see what I'm going to do with the hand. Alright, let's see if we can get the hand. I'll do it with a pencil so that if I have a mess up I can fix it. I do a line like this and bring it back around for the finger. Put a little curve in there like a little C, and I make the thumb. And I just bend that line. It's got a little double bend in it right there. And now he's pointing like he's just got his hand pointing to his cave. If the thumb looks strange, you want the thumb to go a different way, you can leave it like mine right there, but I'm just showing you there's another way to do it. You can make the thumb point down like this. I don't care which way you make the thumb go. You just need to show one thumb and one finger because you're looking at it like this. You're looking at the hand position like this. If you want to show the other fingers bent out of the way, you can, although I'm not because it just, I don't know, it's a detail part that makes it look bad. I'll go ahead and darken this in. I think this looks okay. I guess I'll just leave the thumb pointed out that way. So now he's pointing into his cave, which we haven't drawn yet. Well, I guess we need to make him a home. Once again, time for you to make a decision. If you want to do a creative thinking structure for his home, you can do that. Or if you want to follow me, you can make the cave. It's up to you. If you want a cave, here's what you do. Put your fingers like this. It'll be about this tall. From way down in here all the way to the top. And then slide your fingers back away from the edge a little bit. Make an L right in front of your fingers. Come down and make an L. Just like a gigantic letter L. Just right like that. See? Huge L. Darken that in a little bit. Now wait on me. Don't try to guess at this. If your L has little wiggles or bends in it, that's fine. That'll actually be better. I'm going to put pockets on my character. I'm going to get away from the cave for just a minute and put pockets on my character and a line down the middle of his shirt and put X's over it to show like maybe it's held together with string or leather. Now, I'm going to slide up the back of the L not far. Here's halfway. I'm not even halfway, and I'm going to put a hook-on point. You should have this hook-on point. If you don't, then in a minute you're going to be wondering how I got this to look like a cave and you didn't. Slide your finger here. The reason I put the pocket on is because we're going to use it as a reference point. And we're going to bring this line over. This is a skip line now. I'm going to bring this line over and hit him right near the pockets. Skip. It's a skip line. Skip and go right off the edge. And if it has wiggles or bumps in it, that's even better. Mine wiggles a little bit, but not much. All right. Continuing on to make the cave. And here's what we'll end up with if you follow me. I'm going to do this rainbow shape, but now there's still some parts to it. If you try to figure it out on your own and you mess up, then you might be stuck with something you don't want. I'm going to put a little dot right there above that line, and I'm just going to make a rainbow. Ever how wide I want the entrance to my cave to be, that's how big I make the rainbow shape. This might be a skip line for you. It is a skip line for me because I'm going to hook on there and I'm going to come, and I do have to skip his hand. That was a really unfortunate place for that line to come across. I don't like that at all. I wish it had not, cut across his thumb like that. But anyway, stuck with it. That's something I could have fixed if I had been using a pencil. When I'm drawing things that I do for other projects, I always use a pencil and sketch it out first. I use a marker so you can see it better. Now slide your finger down against this rainbow shape and put a dot right there. We're going to do two lines from that dot. One is going to work its way out this way, and it does wiggle and bend. Some it has maybe little pieces coming off here and there. And the other, now for me, it's going to be a skip line because I'm going to have to hit and skip quite a bit. This other line comes like this, wiggling down, hits, have to skip, 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 all the way down like that. So this is what I just drew. You can see how the skip line skips over his body. And I've got this little grassy hill back in here with a tree on it. I'm going to do that very quickly, but we're about out of time. I'm going to work on those things. I'll show you before I start your music how I put my name above the bottom edge. I don't let my name go onto the bottom edge. I'm going to continue to draw for just a minute, then I may color some. You can continue doing your creative thinking. If you want to fill the cave up with all kind of cool stuff, you can. Or, you know what? There could be an animal in there. Maybe he stepped out and a big black bear got in his cave and he can't get back in. Or maybe it's full of animals. Or maybe it's full of electronic equipment and he's just showing you. He's getting ready to go in and maybe turn on his LCD TV or something. It's up to you. You can fill the cave up or you can just leave it like this. You can put other characters in here, draw the whole family, draw little animals, dogs, puppies, or cats, whatever. I'm going to draw for a minute or two more. You do your creative thinking. Give me some really, really pretty colors. And I'll play you some music, and I hope it was fun.